You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss Jakubovic.
Hey, everybody. Today we're talking about where and how to place retargeting ads. And I'm really excited about this podcast because I love retargeting ads. And retargeting ads is the third phase in our Facebook ad strategy here at Meliss Marketing. The first phase is brand awareness and visibility. The second phase is lead generation. And the third phase is retargeting ads. And retargeting ads are so important in this strategy. And believe it or not, it's the most frequently left off phase in Facebook ads. When people come to our agency for the first time and we see what they've been doing before and what's been working and what's not, 9 times out of 10, nobody has retargeting ads. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is what's not working for ya. The retargeting ads are where you can double or even triple your ROI, your return on your investment, with your ad spend budget. So the way it works is we take your ad spend budget and we put a little bit of percentage in the brand awareness and visibility phase. We put most of the percentage in the lead generation phase, and we put a little bit of budget in the retargeting ad phase. And the retargeting phase is actually cheaper than the lead generation phase because we're already hitting a warm audience and it's already people who are in that bucket of people who have opted in. In the lead generation phase and the brand awareness phase, we are reaching a cold market. So it's a lot of people, sometimes millions of people, and therefore it costs more money to reach millions of people. People opt into your offers, and then this is where the retargeting phase comes in. So we're only targeting people that have already opted in and are warm, and therefore it is much cheaper to run retargeting ads. But if you are setting your own ad budget, please make sure you leave some of that budget for the retargeting ads, because that's the most important phase, and that's where people come back for more. Now, let's talk about what that really means in terms of mapping out that strategy. So, first of all, you need to understand your customer's journey, where they are in their journey and how they get from one point to the next, to the next, to the next. Once you've understood that journey and you've mapped it out, then you can go back in and place retargeting ads in each part of this journey. I did a podcast not too long ago about making sure that your sales funnel is deep. Not wide, but deep. And this really relates to that. The retargeting ads are what you can use to make your funnel deeper and therefore more effective. So you want to make sure that you plan out in advance who your customer is and what the journey is that they're going to take. And then based on the actions that they take throughout that journey, you're going to pop back in with retargeting ads. So I want you to think of retargeting ads as a place holder for every single time there is an action to be taken. So if it's to download something and then they don't download it, then there is a place for a retargeting ad to remind them, hey, go download this. Or if you have a webinar registration funnel and people registered for your webinar but then didn't show up, you could send a retargeting ad to the people who didn't show up saying, hey, we saw you registered, but you didn't show up. So another thing to make note of retargeting ads is that you need to have really clear messaging and make sure that you're speaking to the customer based on those actions that they took or didn't take. So if somebody signs up for your webinar and then you're pitching, let's say, an online course, and you send people to that online course and they go to the sales page, but then they don't buy. So they registered for the webinar, they attended the webinar, they went to the sales page, and then they didn't buy, then you need to place a retargeting ad there that says, hey, we saw that you watched the webinar. We saw that you made it to the sales page and didn't buy. And then you can nurture them further. And that's usually the reason why people don't purchase, is because they haven't been nurtured enough. So retargeting ads are your strategy to continue to nurture your prospect or your lead all the way down till the sale. So I want you to map out what it is that you want from your customers. What actions do you want them to take from step 1 to step a million, whatever it is, maybe it's step 5. And then make it visual. You can take a piece of paper and a pen, you can draw it out, you can make a flow chart with arrows. I do this a lot of the times inside of Trello. I also use flowchart software so you can visually see it. I actually also have a huge whiteboard in my office, and I love to draw it out there first. Then I can erase things easily. And then once I've mapped it all out on the whiteboard, then I make it digital with a flowchart. So whatever you need to do to see it, I'm a very visual person, and I think it really does help when you've visually mapped out what it is you're trying to achieve. And then you can just plug in these retargeting ads to make your funnel deeper and reach your audience in a more nurturing way. So make sure that you've mapped it out and then decide which actions you want people to take throughout that plan. And for each and every action, you need to create a retargeting ad for people who didn't take that action. And also in that last podcast about how deep the funnel was a couple podcasts ago, we were talking about how email nurture series also help make your funnel deep. And that is so true as well. And that is a form of retargeting. So you can retarget through email nurture series, or you can retarget through ads. And if you have a very strong strategy in your marketing, you would have both of these things. So for example, if you have a bonus that's expiring for your coaching program, then you would send out a Facebook ad 24 hours before saying, the bonus is expiring in 24 hours, click here to buy now. Or if people didn't make it to the webinar but they registered, you might say, here's a link to the replay. We want you to watch the replay. So I want you to think about what are those actions that you want your prospects to take. You want them to watch a replay? They didn't watch a replay? Well, there you go. That's your answer. Make a retargeting ad sending them to a replay. Or you wanted them to purchase your course and get access to the bonus? They didn't? Well, there you go. Make a retargeting ad reminding them that the bonus is disappearing in 24 hours and you want them to take action now and purchase. So the cool thing about retargeting ads are that they're more creative than your lead generation ads because you are speaking directly to people based on the actions they did or didn't take. Therefore, you need to call them out in the messaging and say, hey, I saw you were doing blank. Now go do this. Call them out. I saw that you watched my webinar but didn't check out the sales page. Maybe you ran out of time. Here it is again for your convenience. Constantly bringing it back. So if they see you in their Facebook newsfeed with a retargeting ad, they see you in their email, in their inbox, they see you while they're going through the sales funnel on those landing pages. Of course, you're doing video on your profile, on your business page, and maybe in your Facebook groups, you're using video. They're seeing you there as well. They're seeing you everywhere. And that is the point of retargeting ads. Retargeting ads aren't to annoy people. And if you have that mindset that, oh, I don't want to do retargeting ads, I'm being annoying. I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to annoy or bombard my clients and customers. Then you are looking at this from the wrong way, because if people watched your webinar and didn't buy, they're already a hot lead. Or if people made it, or a warm lead, if people made it to your sales page and didn't buy, they're a hot lead. Maybe you don't know what happened. Maybe their kid started crying and woke up from nap and they left their computer and went to go take care of their kid and forgot to come back. Or maybe they got a phone call and then they had to go pay a bill. So they went online and they paid a bill and then they forgot what they were doing. So think of it as you know that they have a problem and what you are offering solves that problem. You don't have to give them just one chance. You want to really help them with their problems. So you want to give them another opportunity to come back and another one and another one. Think of it as you helping them and making it easier for them. Maybe they watched the webinar and they've been thinking about it for a few days and they just aren't really sure. And you reaching out to them really helps solidify their decision to say yes. So you're actually there to help them make that decision. And by you popping up everywhere, you are staying atop of mind. And you're reminding them, don't forget, you want to hop into this. You want to be a part of this. Don't forget, doors are closing soon. Don't forget, watch the webinar. Guide them through it. tell them clearly and specifically what it is that you want them to do and have them come back for more. And that's why retargeting ads are so powerful, because you've already paid for them to be a lead. You paid for them in the lead generation phase. So if you're paying $5 for a lead, then you've already spent that $5 to be in contact with this person. It's a waste of your time, money, and effort for you to say, here's $5, Facebook, give me this lead. I'm going to ask them one time if they want it. And if they say no, I'm just going to forget about them. But it still cost you $5. Instead, what you can do is say, here, Facebook, have my $5, bring me this lead, and I'm going to tell them about what I offer. I'm going to remind them. I'm going to talk to them directly. I'm going to nurture them. I'm going to offer them value. I'm going to hit them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times so that I have made that $5 last longer and be more meaningful. And that person will actually feel very nurtured instead of, they tried to sell me one time, I didn't buy, they don't have any use for me. Instead, you are offering them value. You're reminding them to come back. You're explaining to them how you can help them. You have interest in making their life easier or better based on whatever it is you offer in your products or services. So you want to take that $5 and make it last. You want to take that $5 and make sure that it was worth having that lead on your list so that you can go back and retarget them for maybe 20 cents, 50 cents, and maybe even $1. And so instead of spending, let's say, $10 on Facebook to get 2 cold leads, you can spend $5 on Facebook to get 1 cold lead and $1 on Facebook to warm them up. So that cost you $6 to warm up your lead and make them ready to buy, as opposed to just spending a lot of money on Facebook to get a bunch of cold leads that you never do anything with. So retargeting is really, really crucial to your marketing strategy because that's where most of the money is made. The fortune is in the follow-up. Think of your retargeting ads as your follow-up series. And the other thing to remember is that this is not a cookie cutter marketing strategy. So what's happening and what someone is doing in your space, the influencer in your space is doing one way, doesn't mean it will work for the way you're doing things. So you really need to understand your audience. You really need to understand that customer journey. You need to understand the messaging that you're using to target that audience. And you need to understand what type of content your audience likes to consume. So for example, functional medicine doctors, a bunch of my clients are functional medicine doctors, and they're busy and they're running their wellness centers and they're running their team and they're dealing with their patients day in and day out. They don't really have time to sit on an hour and a half or 2-hour webinar with me. So because I know who my audience is, I know that webinars for functional medicine doctors are not going to be the best content type to put out there. They're going to want something fast. They're going to want something quick. They're going to want something that gives them the answers and solves their problems right away. However, if I was dealing with a consumer of a health coach product, so if you're a health coach and you are trying to reach, let's say, busy moms who want to be fit, then you are not going to be able to give them a link to some freebie and have them buy a $3,000 course for you. That doesn't make any sense. They have the time. They're really interested. They're going to do their research on who it is that's going to help them lose this weight or get more fit. And they're going to want that 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2-hour webinar because they want to learn about you. They want to see how you can help them. They want to feel and understand your personality. They want to make sure that you're the right coach to get them there. So it's really important to understand what type of content your audience needs to see or read or hear from you based on your audience's needs. So it's not a cookie cutter strategy. You can't say this influencer is doing this, therefore I'm going to do it and it's going to work. So make sure you understand that messaging and the type of content that you want them to see. And retargeting ads are not that expensive because, like I said, we are only targeting people who are already in your social media world. And that's a smaller amount of people than when we reach the masses with cold traffic. So add in these retargeting ads and you will see that your marketing has completely skyrocketed. And it really, truly makes a difference when done correctly. Now, if you need help with your retargeting ads, whether it's the images, whether it's the copy, what's written in them, whether it's targeting the right audience, or maybe it's just mapping out that entire funnel, please apply to work with our team because we can help you with this. And we have different packages for different price points. So it's not going to hurt you to just try and see if we can help you. This is what we do. We do it really well, and we have done for you services, and we also have done with you services where you get access to me and I strategize your stuff, you and me together. And sometimes we can bring on your team as well if that helps you. So check it out. Apply to work with our team. We would love to have you, and we're taking a few more clients this month. Go to go.melissmarketing.com/apply, and I hope to see you soon. Oh, wait, before you go, if you think you'd like to work with the Meliss marketing team one-on-one, I invite you to apply for your first class strategy call. This process is just as much an interview for us, seeing if you're a great fit for our agency, as it is for you, seeing if we are your great fit. Unlike other agencies, we only take on clients we know we can help. So if you think you're ready to get support with your content creation, lead magnets, sales funnels, and/or Facebook ads, let our agency help you take your business to the next level. Each month, we open up just a few spaces on our client roster for your opportunity to be able to work with our amazing team. Apply now at go.melissmarketing.com/apply, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.